those overpasses, those big flyovers. So the important question is, when do we really have to start being alert?
Well, this will start basically tomorrow morning around 9 or 10 o'clock, and the good news with that treatment of bridges and overpasses is that this will start as frozen precipitation as opposed to rain washing all the chemicals away, so maybe that'll actually have more effect this time. But the roads will be initially okay tomorrow, I think, for much of the morning from, say, when you wake up around 5 a.m. if you're an early riser heading to work early, but they'll start to deteriorate into the mid-morning, and they could become treacherous by lunchtime if this all does come to pass. Of course, with wintry weather in the south, there are always pitfalls. So we have to remember that this forecast will be changeable. There really are pitfalls. We could have a little less snow, a little more ice, a little less ice, a little more snow. The bottom line with all this is plan ahead tomorrow, because you don't want to go to work tomorrow thinking, oh, the roads are fine, only to find that coming home is impossible because they shut the roads down or that the bridges and overpasses are all messed up. You remember on Friday how they shut down I think like 84 roads. There were like 84 closures around the region, including 59, so be aware of that. Winter storm warning for the entire region right on into the day tomorrow, starting late tonight and through the day tomorrow, so that's something to consider. Precipitation type tomorrow: sleet, icing, and up to an inch of snow, maybe 2 inches in spots north of Harris County especially, but I don't think this is going to be as much of a snow issue as it will be an icing issue. About 1/8 of an inch of sleet and icing for everywhere in the red, and this is significant because this is going to affect travel. This could actually make travel quite treacherous. So let's talk about the hazardous travel times. This is going to be the important part for timing it out. At 5 a.m., I don't think we're going to see much going on. But once we get into 7 o'clock, that's when this red zone sags south, including Conroe, Huntsville, Brenham, and Cleveland. That's where travel becomes rough. That does include the North Freeway. This is at 7 o'clock in the morning. Notice Houston, Hobby, Sugar Land, Pearland, we're primarily okay at 7 in the morning. So this is where people are going to think, oh yeah, I'll just go to work, I'll be fine. But then by 9, it starts sagging south, includes the Katy Freeway, Cinco Ranch, Katy, out west toward, say, Columbus. And once we get into about 10, 11, toward the lunchtime hour, that's when hazardous travel overspreads the entire area. That's when bridges and overpasses start freezing up. That's when even the Gulf Freeway can start seeing some issues on some of those overpasses. And certainly by the afternoon, that's even when places like Galveston could see some issues. The difference with this system is compared to Friday's, it's a little bit cooler. So we're going to see impacts all the way to the coastline. Galveston, you're not out of the woods with this system. So treacherous travel anticipated everywhere in this pink coloration from Brenham all the way out to the coastline. This would be mid-morning through the evening. Slippery travel to the west with the lighter precipitation, and I think the only rain in this game is going to be right along the immediate coast, Matagorda County points southward. So let's talk about future tracks. Starting off tomorrow at 6 in the morning. Notice, just clouds, no precipitation, although we may have a light wintry mix around College Station and Huntsville, maybe a little bit of snow there, some normal rain in south coastal regions. As overnight lows along the coast tonight will be around 34, 35, and they'll be in the upper 20s once you get Houston points north. But by 10 o'clock, notice how quickly it changes. A wintry mix of ice, freezing rain, sleet right here across central sections with a little bit of snow possible, Brenham, Conroe, Cleveland. And then once we get into about noon, notice how the precip starts moving south. So this could be just a few hours of winter precipitation. I talked about the pitfalls earlier. How long does this last? Obviously, more precipitation will result in more slippery travel. But with freezing rain, it really doesn't take much. You only need an hour or two to really mess things up. And the thing with tomorrow is that it's not going to warm up past freezing all day long. So what falls and forms as ice on the roadways is not going anywhere. On Friday, we warmed up to about 34 or 35. That allowed a little bit of warming, a little bit of melting after lunchtime. That's not the case here. I think tomorrow we're going to have temperatures at or below freezing all day long. So what falls will remain. Maybe a little bit of remaining sleet or freezing rain on the coast by 4, and then that clears away. So the pitfalls again on this situation will be how long does the precip last and what does it fall as. Regardless, I think we're going to see treacherous travel, so the winter storm warning is valid. North winds right now about 15 to 20. The Arctic front has just pushed through. Temperatures falling through the day. 58 in Houston right now, 51 in College Station. We'll see temps dropping to about 48 in the Woodlands by this evening. And for the 7-day forecast, like on Friday, this winter shot is quick hitting. We're looking at temperatures recovering after tomorrow to highs in the 70s by late this work week. It is a manic forecast yet again.
All right, well, schizophrenic, but it's ours. Thanks.
Okay, well, don't forget, we'll keep you